Hey everybody, I have finally made it to GABF. I've never been to the festival, judged before, but never made it to the festival. And Ted and I have been talking on and off. I told him I was judging. He said, hey, I'm going to be at GABF. And we figured out a way to get together and talk a little bit about NA beer. So I just finished judging the final round at GABF. Our table was actually last. You may not be surprised about that, knowing me. But anyway, we had a great time, judged some fantastic beers, and I can't wait to try them on Saturday because that's what happens. But I'm with Ted Fleming of Partake, and you know we've had a number of guests talking about NA beers, and I'm fascinated by them because I think there's, if nothing else, as the engineer in me says that's a real technical challenge, and I love a good technical challenge and how to solve it. So we've talked to several guests before, so Ted, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then more importantly, what's going on right behind us.
Sure. So I'm Ted Fleming. I'm the founder at Partake Brewing, and we're here at GABF, Great American Beer Festival. In my mind, the best beer festival in the world, and we're the sponsor of the designated driver lounge and the Non-Alcohoc Oasis, bringing in 40 other breweries making non-alcoholic beer. So it's a pretty exciting
40?
time. Yes.
40? No kidding. I only thought there was a couple. Wow.
Yes, things have changed a lot since we launched in 2017. We were one of the pioneers in craft non-alcoholic beer, and you know we've proliferated and opened the door for a lot of other breweries to innovate in the space and make things better for people who don't drink alcohol and those who are moderating as well.
Well, I can't wait because I want to learn more about these. I have never had a Partake, so you're going to get my candid reaction, and we've got a couple of them right here.
We got a few here, yes.
Okay. So, Ted, I was talking to Randy Mosher earlier, and he was talking about all the nuances of tasting. He's writing a new book. And so one of the interesting things was tasting order and, you know, one beer and trying the next one impacts flavor. So is there an order to these that you suggest?
Yeah, so we've got three of our beers here, but we've actually made 16 different styles of non-alc beer over the course of our history. The three we have here are our Peach Gose, our Blonde Ale, and then our Hazy IPA.
Okay, those are good choices. And I'm from South Carolina, and we have a lot of peaches, so that one I'll be particularly looking for.
All right, maybe I knew my audience.
I'd say you did. You might have detected a little accent.
A little bit.
Even in my email.
Yeah.
Well, can we try one? I'm thirsty.
Absolutely. So in terms of order, let's start with the peach, and then we'll go to the blonde, and then the IPA. So
Okay.
We'll start here.
So is it a special way to pour NA beers, or you pour them just like you would a regular beer?
Just like a regular beer.
Okay.
And then
Thank you. So you going to try one?
Yeah, I am.
Good.
Can't drink alone.
Okay, now this is... Now, I've actually found tasting NA beers, a lot of them have some warty aldehydes. I don't detect any.
Yeah,
How'd you do that?
We find our beers to be a lot drier than your typical non-alc beer, a lot less sweetness, and you know, just a really clean taste and finish.
Oh, I guess a gentle peach, a little bit of malt.
Mm-hmm. And just that touch of sourness. It's
Cheers.
It's,
I gotta try this.
You know, great beer for a hot summer day in South Carolina.
Wow. That might be one of the best I've ever had.
Thank you very much.
Wow. I'm serious. I'm not really putting on here. This is exceptional. It's so refreshing. My daughter is actually pregnant right now, and so I've gotten her inspired on the NA beers because she didn't want to totally give up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to find, so if she wants to look for a peach, what do you call it, peach Gose. That is a nice Gose too. It's not too tart, not too salty.
Yeah, and I think what's really interesting about our beers, even within non-alc categories, so non-alc beers in general are a lot lower in calories than our alcoholic cousins, but Partake in particular, all our beers are less than 30 calories a can. So I think the peach here,
Wow.
25 calories for that entire can. The blonde's 15, Hazy IPA is
so I can
25.
crush it.
You can absolutely crush it.
Well, down the hatch. I'm thirsty.
All right, I'll join you.
That is nice.
So you were asking about where can you get it in
Yep.
in Carolina. So we're with we're in a lot of states in the U.S. About 22 in terms of distribution. We're with Total Wine across their total footprint across the U.S. So
They have a nice selection of NA beers.
that's a really great place for people in South Carolina. But we're focused on a handful of states. We don't see ourselves going quite national quite yet. We've got a lot of great states we need to build our business in.
Yep.
Focused on that. And another nuance that's really interesting about non-alc is we can sell online. So we have a lot of online customers that buy directly from us. We ship to them whether through our own website, drinkpartake.com,
Wow.
or whether through Amazon.
So it's on Amazon. Okay, I've seen some other NA beers on there. But, it's intimidating. People don't know what they're getting, and they might have tried some and they were disappointed. They thought they were watery or had no body. As two engineers talking here, without revealing anything, can you talk about how that's got a nice, I would say low to medium to be, maybe approaching medium body. That's the hard part, isn't it?
Yeah, our beer, to make it, I like to say it's extremely delicate. Even brewers we bring our recipe to and work with to make our beer, it takes many iterations for them to get it right. So I think our process is quite unique within non-alc beer. I think it's what gives us that great taste profile and also that ultra low calorie count, which again is really unique within non-alc beer. And the process itself was developed by me as an engineer and a friend of mine who was a really accomplished home brewer. And there were a lot of iterations. There were a lot of terrible batches that went down the drain. Very sad moments, of course. But we got to a point where we said, "Wow, this is not bad," which was in fact really good. I was able to bring on some really professional brewers who'd worked for ABI and some really big breweries. One of our scientists on our project, he had instead of a baseball card collection, he had a brewer's yeast collection of some 20,000 types of brewer's yeast. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, that's the guy I want on my team, right? So I had the great fortune of having some really smart people work to bring my recipe from a desktop trial, like a not bad version.
So you're
to
a home
commercial
brewer.
brewing.
Or
not
your
not
friend
really
was.
good as my friend is. I'll give him all the credit on that. But I brought that engineering mindset of here are our constraints. Let's think outside of the box, and we've obviously come up with something.
So can you tell us how you got the body in it, or is that super secret?
It's a bit of a secret. I'd say the way I talk about process within non-alcoholic beer is there's generally two predominant processes. One is dealcoholization. A lot of the biggest breweries invest in that machinery. Dealc their 5% beer. Arrested fermentation, which is a lot more common in Europe. We tried to kind of deconstruct both those processes and bring in sort of the best parts in various parts of the process that we thought came from each. And again, have come up with, I think, probably one of the best products, if not the best product in the category.
It's phenomenal. So what's our next one? Can we try another one?
Absolutely. So this is our blonde ale. This is kind of our easy drinking, call it a lager style of beer.
Yeah.
Very accessible. We often put this into bars and restaurants, along with our Hazy IPA is a great option for those who like a easy drinking lager style beer.
And the name of this one is, it's beautiful. I mean, look at this, crystal clear. It's got a great head. Wow. And how many calories is this one?
It's a whopping 15.
A whopping, wow.
Yeah, I think we might burn those.
Smells
burn
way
those
too
15
rich for
calories
that.
just drinking these beers.
Or at least me hauling that heavy camber bag around.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers. I do detect a little bit of those warty aldehydes on this that I didn't pick up in the peach, but it's quite subtle. I mean, you gotta look, you're reaching for it. That is nice, very refreshing. It's not too sweet.
Yeah, it didn't take me long to finish that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's very refreshing. So I mean, you could some beers you really just can't drink on a hot day. It's actually a little warm in here.
Oh yeah, it's we're in a greenhouse right now.
Yeah,
You guys,
we really
you guys
are.
can't tell, but
Yeah, I'm about to open up this shirt. This is very refreshing. So, and the body is, I guess that one's definitely in the middle, kind of medium-low range, but super refreshing, very beer-like, tiny bit a little warty aldehyde, but I'm looking for flaws.
Right.
I mean, I've been judging beer for 3 days, so that's phenomenal.
yeah, I drink this beer probably predominantly in the summer and the peach Gose. Hope your audience won't judge me for I like putting a lime in it.
Oh no,
I enjoy that.
No.
So
It's your beer. You can put in whatever you want.
I know, but I find that extremely refreshing on a hot day.
I have a friend who'd always put in a few grains of salt.
Oh yeah. Well, this one, the Gose actually has
Yep.
coriander and sea salt as some of its ingredients as well. Yeah.
Gosh, that's good. Okay. So I'm really inspired now. What's our last stop?
All right, last one we got here is our Hazy IPA. Obviously, a bit more up the craft beer alley.
Yep.
A latest beer to go into sort of broader distribution in retail.
Oh, so this is relatively new.
Relatively new.
So it may not be in the stores.
It's starting to roll out in the stores right now. We put it in one of our variety packs in the last year. The variety pack did exceptionally well.
Yep.
And so we brought out, this was like a unique product within that variety pack. Now it's a full-time offering for us.
Well, I bet my audience is tired of listening to me. So how would you describe it? And then I'll argue with you.
Yeah, so obviously hazy IPA.
Yeah.
Definitely hazy.
Yeah.
Um,
By the way,
you know-
we need to cheers.
cheers.
There we go.
Bit of a smaller head than the blonde. I get notes of apricot, a little bit of peach actually on the
Okay.
nose as well. It's got a subtle bit of bitterness at the front end.
Okay.
Back end, super smooth.
Okay. I'm going to give it a try. Cheers. Very clean. Wow, what a clean brew. Just a teeny tiniest little bit of warty aldehyde. I mean, it's so faint. Wow. The hop profile I would love to see come up a little bit. It's pale ale range,
Right?
I would say. I like the bit
In aroma or
in aroma.
Yeah.
In aroma. And it's not as juice forward as a lot of the hazies are, but you match the bitterness nicely with what you have there, so it is not overly bitter. It is just enough to give your palate and wet it for the next one. That is very clean, and there's no off flavors. I mean, besides, and I don't know that aldehydes are actually considered. I guess it's arguably a warty thing, and it is so tiny you would have to put it in the very low threshold. That's nice. I think I like the peach Gose the best.
It's a fan favorite for sure, and
Is it?
it's very unique even within non-alc beer. We're the only ones making a peach Gose like that, and again, like I'm a little biased, but I think they're some of the best.
What's your
best
favorite
beers in non-alc?
What's your favorite? There's still. I know you made 16, and you may have a favorite back then.
Yeah, I would say this in the summertime when it's warm. I'm
Yep.
drinking the blonde a lot and the peach
Okay.
Gose, and then
Yep.
I'll switch to our hazy IPA. Some of our seasonals become always like darker beers as well, so I'll switch to a little bit of a darker profile, heavier profile in the vineyard.
So let me switch gears a little bit as we wrap up. So you started this through home brewing, maybe you personally and your friend, and you worked on it. You went through all the iterations. There's a lot of home brewers that would love to brew. They may not get a 0.00 beer, but if they wanted to brew something that approached that, do you share any recipes or anything for home brewers?
We don't, but I think the category and the accessibility of non-alc to homebrewers has, it's really accelerated. I think particularly non-alc yeast are a way for homebrewers to get to non-alc without the equipment, without the the technical requirements that we have at a commercial brewery scale. One of the challenges of non-alc is the food safety side, and like
that was my next question.
Yeah, we obviously don't have alcohol to act as that protective agent in the beer over time. We today, all our beers are fully tunnel pasteurized. We think that's the absolute way to go in terms of to be a responsible non-alc beer participant. As a homebrewer, different calculation, and the beer is obviously fresh and consumed fairly quickly at home. We're shipping our beer across North America, so very, very different way the beer is treated. But from our perspective, as a commercial brewer, that's an absolute must.
And homebrewers basically need to do the same thing, right? They've got to do something to pasteurize it, otherwise stuff will grow in it that you don't want.
Yeah, I think also like pH adjustment is important. I think there's a lot of great articles out there, scientific articles about what the right pH is for non-alc beer to prevent certain other microorganisms. So there's good resources out there, and I know homebrewers are probably some of the most adventurous and curious people out there. So I'm sure if they haven't found it already, they will pretty soon.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could share something that maybe doesn't reveal your secrets, but is what you recommend minus all the gear you have. I know you're not looking for something to do, but think about that.
Yeah,
I'm on the governing committee for the American Homebrewers Association, and we would love to see some good quality NA recipes out there. And so maybe we can twist your arm into that.
Okay, well, you'll have to work on me.
Okay. Well, this has been great. So you'll be here for 4 days or 4 sessions, right?
The team will be here the whole weekend. I'm here just for 1 day. I've got to fly to Toronto for another trade show. But this has been great. Really great to meet you, Doug. I'd also, we haven't had a chance to talk even about like the history of Partake. I'd just love to give you a minute on
please.
Yeah, like in my story is in 2005 I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and that kind of was the start of a bunch of changes in my life. Wow. And one of those changes was giving up alcohol. And I was a craft beer lover and really struggled when I went out and wanted to have a beer with my friends or in that social occasion, and there weren't great options for me. First at bars and restaurants, they only had soda, juice, water as options. Even at retail, there were really old brands that weren't really innovative. And so, Partake was kind of my answer to that. And, I think we've built an incredible community, firstly around people like me who'd given up alcohol completely. But today we're seeing a massive amount of new customers come into the category who are alcohol consumers, but they're changing the way they use alcohol. Sometimes some of them are saying, hey, I'm just going to drink on the weekend and I'll drink non-alc during the week. Some people drink alcohol during the week, but they say I'll have one alcoholic beer and I'll have a Partake as an alternative. And then I'm moderating, but I'm not losing out on that great beer occasion. So
we're not that far from dry January too, so this would be some good alternatives there. We have a new flavor out by January.
We absolutely will. We've got an Oktoberfest coming out right now, in fact, for this current season as well.
So can I try one of those if I go back to the designated driver area?
I think we could probably hook you up there, Dave.
Okay. Well, this has been fun. Thank you, everybody. We'll cover some more things going on at GABF in Denver, Colorado. Ted, this has been awesome. Thank you. And I'm going to fill this up again. I don't know if you want to get a hit of yours, but do a final cheers.
Yeah, I'll join you for a little more here.
Yeah.
Go back to the hazy.
Cheers. Thank you.